Hey guys, it's Captain Forest here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over both these combatants to see who would win, more often than not, in a crossverse situation. Father Time from DC Comics versus Moleculeman from Marvel 616. Now, if you guys are new to my channel, please leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for further content. Also, shouts to Coffee Shop Gang, they make awesome content. Their links will be in the description. Also, huge, massive shoutouts to HQ Squad, specifically Korin. He was an absolute monster in this video, absolute monster in the research section. He was a huge driving force behind the research behind these combatants. So I tip my hat off to Korin and everyone else. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start off with Father Time to see what he brings to the table. In the beginning, there was time, the relentless beat in which things could happen, which everything could become. Father Time is the personification of time and rules over his domain. Time is the father to the endless, and with his partner, Mother Night, made all versions of creation possible. However, in present times, time and night are separated and estranged from their families. Even if they keep occasional contact with their offsprings, they spend their existence apart. Even so, time misses night. Now, we must examine exactly how endless the endless are. It is showcased more than once that they are explicitly not bound to one creation. When we see dream or destiny or death, we are only looking at one point of view. Furthermore, destiny is drawn transcending creation on the multiversal map. The endless are merely patterns, the endless are ideas, the endless are wave functions, the endless are repeating motifs. It's not possible to escape death, even by escaping the death of your own entire creation into the void. Death isn't afraid to stand her ground against Lucifer's threats. She also told Lucifer something that has a lot of meaning to it. She says verbatim, "You know, I told my brother once that if you killed the messenger, in the long run, you just get less mail." Destiny's book contains all of existence within it. There is nothing that exists that is not in Destiny's book. Imagine a book that contains everything that is happening, everything that has happened, and everything that will happen. In fact, Father Time himself gave Destiny his book. All things are Father Time's, or will be his in him. Dream has total control over the dreaming, which is as much part of Dream as he is part of it. The power of dreams can retroactively change creation and create gods. Oh, and let's not forget, having total control over the dreaming also means that Dream has control over Lucine's library. As we know, Lucine's library contains every book that was never written and all titles martyred by retcon. Heck, with 1,000 dreams, Dream repaired creation itself. Now, let's look into how these universes work in DC. Universes in DC Comics are infinitely large. In Pre-Crisis, the narration is even noted and calls the space and infinite vastness. There exists other universes and dimensions within universes. As for geometric spatial dimensions, universes have at least 11 total spatial dimensions. A single universe has one temporal dimension, giving it a linear timeline. Space and time of a single universe are intertwined. There are infinite universes, not just 52. 52/local, not all of them. Every event, from invisibly small to trans-universal, spawns countless realities. Every decision spawns a new universe. DC's cosmology is repeatedly referenced to have a large number of higher spatial dimensions beyond the 11 that make up a single universe. Captain Thunder of Earth 276 crossed realities by folding himself through a 19th dimensional Mobius loop. Metron states, in the context of taking a human through 6-dimensional space, that there are 28 dimensions currently known. Rama Kushna states there are innumerable dimensions. The bleed also called bleed space, is a dimension that can only be conventionally accessed by moving up through higher dimensions. It is the dimension that contains all universes, serving as the membrane keeping them apart and the bulk encompassing them. Universes grow within the bleed like crystals in solution. It's stated to be pan-dimensional, or of pertaining to all dimensions of reality. The ovary of worlds is the construct encompassing the universes and the bleed between and around them. It also contains the Rock of Eternity and House of Heroes, which exists outside the universes. The Speed Force is a dimension of energy that touches all parts of the ovary. It is described as the limit to matter on the main multiverse map by Grant Morrison. In the Speed Force, time does not exist in a linear fashion. Rather, all past and present exists at once. With the entrance to the time stream visible beyond, the time stream contains all times within the ovary. The sphere of the gods is a metaphysical reality whose inhabitants exist on a higher plane of existence than the inhabitants of the infinite realities, infinite higher dimensions, and other structures that make up the ovary of worlds. It's a kind of platonic/archetypal world, the great realm of archetypal powers and intelligences. Realms of the sphere of the gods are fictions. The sphere of the gods formed around the prior creation made by Perpetua and Alpheus called it fiction. The sphere of the gods is the source of magic's true power. Magic is a fundamental power of creation and belief in the multiverse, and is tied to every aspect of existence. While mortal realities are made of matter and space and time, all realms in the sphere of the gods are made of raw potential in the void and are simply given shape based on belief and narrative. Magic is a fundamental power of creation and belief in the multiverse and is tied to every aspect of existence. Limbo is the furthest edge of the manifest DC universe. The manifest DC universe means the story of the material multiverse and all other planes which are below Limbo, like the sphere of the gods and so on. There are no stories in Limbo except for the Book of Infinite Pages, which contains every story of creation. By definition, and it is explicitly stated to be so, this means that Limbo has no space and no time. Much like the sphere of the gods, it goes one step further into nothingness. However, since the sphere of the gods is made of story, while comic book Limbo does not even have that. The monitor sphere is located beyond the multiverse, the sphere of the gods, and even the comic book Limbo. It's an archetypal realm and fundamental world where everything is more profound and absolute, and was described as a realm where form and meaning surrender to the overvoid. The source wall surrounding the entire DC multiverse, separating it from the overvoid, it exists in all realms and transacts all dimensions. The sixth dimension is a plane of existence where the prior version of the multiverse was designed and set in motion by Perpetua. It is stated to be beyond imagination and beyond everything on the multiverse map, which includes the source wall itself. Father Time has a ton of hexes and special abilities to bring to the table. He is capable of manipulating dreams. Dream manipulation is the power to affect and control dreams. This is an ability that can vary greatly in complexity and power, with the most simple usages of it can only just alter dreams with no direct repercussions stemming from them. However, the real, powerful users of this ability can use it in a number of ways. Some can travel through dreams of others and use them as mediums for communication or even for attack, striking at other people in their dreams, potentially affecting them in the real world. The greatest users of this power can completely control the world of dreams as another plane of reality, toying with it and altering dreams according to their whims, with some even being capable of dragging others into the world of dreams to kill or imprison them within its boundaries. He can manipulate darkness. The user can create, shape, and manipulate darkness and shadows, By itself, darkness is mostly used to cloud everything into total darkness, but by accessing a dimension of dark energy, it can be channeled to a variety of effects, both as an absence of light and a solid substance. One can also control and manipulate the beings that exist there, create and dispel shields and areas of total darkness, create constructs and weapons, teleport oneself through massive distances via shadows, etc. Father Time can manipulate souls, the mind, gravity, the weather, matter, emotions, causality, death, fate, concepts, narratives, and has Type 5 acausality and high godly regen. For those who are unaware, Type 5, Causality Transcendence. Characters with this type of acausality transcends the normal boundaries of cause and effect, existing outside of the causality of a system. Even interacting with them normally may prove virtually impossible. High godly, the ability to regenerate after the erasure of body, mind and soul, along with at least one even more fundamental aspect of a character's existence, such as their place in the narrative, their entire history, or the underlying information, Type 2, or concepts, Type 1 or 2, but only very rarely 3, if there is strong evidence of being similar to the former types in terms of how hard it is to regenerate from them, needed for them to exist. Time is particularly lonely, although he prefers it so, as he does not want to have any contact with his own children. To his mind, the only reason any of his children visit him is that they want something besides Destiny, who asks nothing of him because Time gave him all he had as his birthright. Destiny leaves him alone. The one person he is interested in meeting again is Night. Now that's going to round up Father Time. I'm going to go ahead and move on to moleculeman and see what he brings to the table. So Owen Reese was a weak, shy boy in Brooklyn, New York, who obsessively clung onto his mother. He grew into a weak-willed adult, made bitter and lonely by his mother's death, and full of fear and hatred of what he regarded as a deeply unfriendly world. Reese became a lowly laboratory technician working at a nuclear plant owned by the Asami Atomics Corporation. He was disgruntled by his job's long hours and low pay. One day, Reese accidentally activated an experimental particle generator which bombarded him with an unknown form of radiation. The explosion horribly disfigured his face with scars in the shape of lightning bolts, but it also had a mutagenic effect on Reese, releasing his potential for psionic powers on a cosmic scale. Reese could now control all matter and all energy, and he now uses his immense powers to take out his pent-up frustrations on the world under the moniker of Moleculeman. In reality, Reese's accident was caused by the Beyonders, beings who exist beyond the multiverse. They created the Moleculeman as a singularity, being the same in every reality, to have the function of a bomb, which would destroy its universe if he died. The purpose of their experiment was to eventually kill all of the Moleculemen at the same time to see what would happen. Owen subconsciously placed limitations on his powers, such as being incapable of affecting the molecules of living things. Initially, he also had to use a magic wand to focus his powers as well. Owen has stated that the wand was initially used due to his past infatuation with magicians. Sensing the danger that the Moleculeman posed, Utah, the Watcher, contacted the Fantastic Four and warned them of the threat, transporting them to face their foe as he threatened the city of New York from Times Square. The Fantastic Four initially were unable to match the powers of the Moleculeman. However, their leader, Mr. Fantastic, was able to deduce that the Moleculeman could not alter the molecules of living things. In Secret Wars, Dr. Doom gained the power of the Beyonder Doom used his powers to remove the mental blocks that Owen placed on himself for years, allowing him to finally control all molecules. Moleculeman can control the building blocks of all creation. Every molecule and iota of matter in the cosmos answers to his whim, and all forces which govern substance bends to his will. In Secret Wars 2, Reese joined forces with many of Earth's superhuman champions to battle the Beyonder. Unfortunately, the Moleculeman exhausted himself fighting the Beyonder, who unleashed an immensely powerful blast of energy to destroy Reese and his allies. Thankfully, Owen managed to shield Captain America and himself from the Beyonder's attack. During the events of Avengers, time runs out, and Secret Wars 2015 to 2016, Doom explained their history and revealed the weapon made of Moleculeman he had created to kill the Beyonders. Strange, Doom, and Owen confronted the Beyonders, successfully using the Moleculeman to destroy them, while using the regular Moleculeman as a conduit to harness their power, giving it to Doom. When Earth 616 and Earth 1610, aka Ultimate Marvel, collide, Dr. Doom comes out as the realm's God Emperor, thanks in part to a captured Moleculeman. Moleculeman ended up betraying God Emperor Doom for a burger. He straight up revoked God Doom's power over a burger. Using Moleculeman's power, Mr. Fantastic and Franklin Richards began to reconstruct the multiverse. Each time a reality was created, a portion of Moleculeman was sliced off to go with it as an anchor, additionally making Owen better and healing him. He is the one whose power made this reality, the demiurge, so to speak, Owen Reese. In Ultimates 2016, it is shown that Moleculeman completely transcends the 7th and 8th multiverse. It's also directly stated that he can end the likes of Lifebringer Galactus with a mere thought. There are numbers greater than infinity, and just like in mathematics, a universe is transfinite, existing infinities higher than other infinities. A universe comprises a whole multiverse and a metaversal spaces. The crossroad is a nexus point plane where the traditional laws of physics do not apply. For an individual to reach this realm, he or she has to pass through the spaces between dimensions. The crossroad is a realm between realities, and from there you have access to many different worlds. Time and distance are virtually meaningless in the crossroads. The superflow, as stated by the maker, is a place where concepts live and make war. It's also been confirmed to be a conceptual space, and that this level, combat is a metaphor. This is supported by Lifebringer Galactus, stating, on our level, combat is a metaphor, a clash of ideas, and also supported by Black Panther entering and stating, on this level, combat is a metaphor. Stated by Master Order that in this dream space, in this superflow, we can utilize our full power without damaging normal space. The neutral zone is completely beyond and outside the superflow, and was described as the white space surrounding all there is in reality. It contains predatory concepts, and it is essentially conceptual in comparison to the superflow, like how the superflow is conceptual compared to everything below it. The far shore is described as a void of non-existence beyond all levels of space, time, life, and death. The furthest place is it's possible to go in the multiverse, completely beyond the neutral zone. The Shaper of Worlds saw what lay beyond. He saw the vast, far shore, too vast for him to comprehend. Legit, the far shore is at the edge of everything. Some people come to me and tell me that the Griever, at the end of all things, killed the Moleculeman in Fantastic Four Volume 6 Issue 2. However, it's easy to deduce that was not the real Moleculeman, because during Secret Wars Volume 1 Issue 9 2016, Moleculeman split himself into the multiverse. Fantastic Four Volume 6 Series 2018 is also a continuation of the Secret Wars event of God Emperor Doom 2015 to 2016. Now, in terms of hexes and special abilities, Moleculeman is certainly not lacking. Moleculeman can transform molecules into anything he wishes. He can turn people into dolls or toys, transform air into water, and convert matter into energy. He can create force fields from the molecules in the air, and can make impervious barriers. Moleculeman has the ability to power null his opponents. He literally stripped the Thing and Man-Thing from their forms and powers. He can pull out the dust in the air to strangle his opponents. Moleculeman can release a flash of light to blind his opposers. He edits and orders the base information of reality. Owen Reese, the Narrative Man. The Eternity Mask, a living piece of our reality, teased apart by magic, woven together like cloth, centuries old and brand new, connected to it all. Space is time, time is a form of space, people and things move along one direction through fourth dimensions, people like me, people like the mask. All of this is narrative. I am eternity, I am the first fire and the raging water, the angelic air and the plants and beasts of the earth, and the fifth element, which is my own spirit, that which makes all in this universe equal, that makes no one soul more inherently important than another, for they all assemble to create me. Even I, the universe itself, am merely one cell of a higher, multiversal eternity, part of a cosmic lineage stretching back to its first conflict. This first story, all this I am, all this are we, and all of this is contained in the mask formed by my own substance. Multiversal eternity is the complete embodiment of everyone and everything on all levels of creation. Owen easily has mid-godly regen, at least for those who are unaware. Mid-godly, the ability to regenerate from the complete erasure of body, mind and soul. It's also safe to say that Mr. Reese has type 5A causality. You don't trust me. That's good. You can't trust anyone. So play it close. Be a little cagey. I'll explain. There's a kitten in this box. Also, a radioactive atom linked to a death ray. If the atom's decayed, the kitten's dead. 50-50 chance. So, did the kitten die? I was lying. See? There's an omniverse in this box, and that omniverse died. But a lot of the lives in it carried on to the new one. New broom, same handle. So, looking at both these combatants to see what they bring to the table more often than not, in terms of AP, it's pretty close. They're both on the same tier, easily boundless, some nice boundless scaling, or even if you lowball them, high outer. But I do lean a little bit more so with Father Time. He just scales a little bit more into the tier compared to Moleculeman. So I do have to lean a little bit more so with AP to Father Time. Now, speed is not going to be an issue. I don't think speed's going to be an issue at all. So I think the main advantages in this fight for Father Time, mainly so, is his type 5. It's just more, it's more harder to kill compared to Moleculeman. Moleculeman also has some good stuff as well, but I just think he kind of slightly just kind of like pales in comparison to Father Time. I think Father Time has a little bit more stuff working with him in that regard. He should easily have better regeneration, just higher, like high godly regen, just difficult to kill. They both have plot hacks. They both can use their hexes on each other, but I do think Father Time's is a little bit more fundamental. So the plot hacks could definitely mess up Moleculeman. I think that's definitely a possibility, especially with Father Time having the slight AP edge and being higher into the cosmology a little more. Now, I'd say with a good amount of difficulty, because this fight is extremely close. I don't think this fight's a stomp in any regard. It just comes down to what they can perform in combat. Of course, you know, we have Moleculeman. He's able to use his molecular abilities, especially on a conceptual level, fundamental stuff, and of course he has his other ways to protect himself, like his barriers and transmutation and all that cool jazz. But more often not, I just have to lean a little bit more so with Father Time. I think, yes, those hexes are very powerful, but because Father Time is a lot more difficult to take down in terms of his types, especially his regen, I just think it's going to be very difficult for moleculeman in that regard. So I think with a good amount of difficulty, a lot of difficulty I should say, especially with high difficulty, I do have to lean more so with Father Time. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, of course. And yeah, it's been real. See you guys in the next one.